Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with layout 7 for how to kill a kit with style. I am also doing a paper issues this or that challenge. So this list here, we had to pick between one thing on either side. I mostly went with the this column other than those two things on the that, but I really enjoyed doing this really big recipe challenge. So I'm getting down to the very scraps of this kit. I really like working with scraps, and I'll tell you why. It really helps the page come together quickly when you just embrace the size that your scraps already are. So I'm really not going to mess around too much with the scraps I have left. I'm going to try and just use them in the chunks that they are and have it guide my design. I knew I definitely wanted to pull in some blues with that wood grain. I really like how that combination looked on my second layout. And since this was a Billy and Marcus page, I figured it was appropriate to try and do a more masculine layout. So I pulled this background paper out of a die cuts with a view paper pad called Jet Black Stack. And it is very similar actually to a Felicity Jane paper that's in this upcoming kit. I think it's called Lindsey, which is the February kit. So I thought it went great with the rest of the Felicity Jane scraps I had left. I definitely needed to pull in a background now that I'm out of all the big pages. But I'm just getting this stuck down. I definitely want to try and make sure I'm using up some pocket cards, so I pulled in that sweet little notebook pocket card as well as that fussy cut circle that says Finding Beauty in the Mess. And that's going to end up being my title for this one. I'm definitely trying to get things used up because there is not going to be very much after this coming out of this kit, so I'm trying to use up some more labels. I'm trying to get those circular die cuts on here. I'm trying to use that last blue tag. So I'm getting down to where I'm really trying to make sure I get as much on a page as possible with it still making sense. I can see right away that this layout's getting very blocky. I really liked all of the hard edges, the corners. I think that lends itself to being a more masculine page. But I didn't want it to be too blocky, so I really feel like adding that doily, adding those round circular pieces really help add just enough to soften it. And again, I'm still gutting, even though, I mean, I know I'm trying to use this kit up, but I'm still gutting. I can't help myself. But I'm pretty happy with where those layers are, so I'm going to go ahead and get that section stuck down. There we go. Just trying to make sure that wood grain is in a few areas so it's not just one little spot on the page. And I know the upper left corner is not going to end up like that, but I'm still kind of stuck as to what to do up there. I definitely know I want all of these elements copied up there, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I brought the rest of that wood grain scrap up there. I'm thinking I definitely want to use that somehow. I'm just trying to figure out how. But I like this a lot better when I have those elements coming out horizontally, so that's pretty much how those stay. I'm putting some black and white twine through that tag, but I do end up switching it out for a little scrap of ribbon, since ribbon was one of the elements in my recipe that I decided to use. The ends of those ribbons were frayed, so I was trying to clean it up a little bit. But I like how that looks. It adds that pop of black. The black and white twine was looking extra busy going over a black and white pattern, so I think that helps. There we go. I'm just looking at all those blue scraps. I still have that striped scrap from a pocket card, so I'm going to definitely try and get that on here as well. There we go. I like how that looks for that top corner. And then I thought I needed one more element here, so I brought in another tag. I really liked how the straight edges of the tag still bring out the hardness and the edginess of this masculine layout, but it's a different shape than just having square corners. So I think that really helps. It also brings the black into another area and replicates that tag shape that's in the upper left-hand corner. And then again, I'm just deciding to use that same ribbon that I used in the other tag just so it was cohesive. There you go. Going through that epoxy sticker sheet. And then I thought, just because it is so boxy and I do have the scallops around that doily, I figured I'd bring in another pop of black by doing a scalloped border punch along the bottom of both of these elements. And I like how that brings the black into another area. It also helps soften up those hard edges a little bit more. I'm thinking I'm going to try and get all of the blue hearts on this page just because it's a blue layout and I need to get these hearts used up. But I end up only using 3 because one of the other elements in my recipe is to use enamel dots. So I end up bringing in some blue enamel dots to go with those hearts instead of using just all the hearts on that sheet. But I'm just going to go ahead and put my journaling in. The finding beauty in the mess is kind of goes well with this photo because it's about how sometimes I forget things at home and Marcus, the sweet man that he is, will drive them to me at work, so I have them. And it's just sweet because he never gets annoyed when he has to bring me something I forget. He always takes it as an opportunity to take Billy on a car ride and to get to see me during my work day. So I really appreciate that. And he took this picture of himself in the car, so I definitely wanted to get it scrapped, so I had that memory. And then another element on the recipe is to doodle. I didn't quite know how I was going to pull this in at first, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to doodle around the edge of this page, and it really helps contain everything. I didn't really realize how open the page looked and how everything kind of looked like it was floating until I drew those lines in, and I really like how it kind of holds the whole page together. But these are the close-ups. I only have one more layout for this kit, guys, and then it is kit share time, so stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Bye.